Welcome to the second part of this Al Ghurair controversy, or rather, or if you want to look at it in another way, the controversy of a possibility that we may not have the elections on August 8th. Okay. Now, I'd hoped to squeeze all of it into one recording, but I just went overboard and it was not possible. So forgive me for having you jump around all over YouTube. Okay. Now on to it straight away. Now, I was very puzzled at the way NASA were behaving, extremely puzzled. And it took me a few weeks to dig and finally find out what was happening. I discovered something interesting. Actually, what had happened is that Raila Odinga and the top lieutenants at his party had appointed a legal team. This had been done much earlier, probably in anticipation of what happened in Parliament. And the whole aspect of this legal team was to look at every aspect of the election process based on how the elections had been fiddled with in the past, look at every single aspect of the election and make sure that there was no way the election would be fiddled with. Yeah, close all loopholes, etc., etc., etc. Yeah, that team, of course, one of the very prominent people in that team, of course, is lawyer James Orengo. And I think if you've been reading newspapers, you'll have noticed, yes, they went to court and they contested successfully this idea of the polling station and the constituency being the final, yeah, in results. That when the results come to the IBC, they have no constitutional or legal right to alter or correct or adjust the results. Okay, that case is still, I believe, is still in the Court of Appeal as I record this. We still haven't had a decision on that. Okay, yes. So that was the reason why they're behaving like that. I will give you the second example, and the second example I've not yet been able to solve. Now, Jubilee are aware of what is currently happening in the Rift Valley. They're very much aware of it. But what has puzzled me is the reaction to it. It has been extremely laid back. Yeah, the reaction of Jubilee towards what is unfolding in the Rift Valley, which definitely is going to affect the presidential election results. That is so important, I have to repeat it. What is currently going on in the Rift Valley, and there's plenty of evidence, cannot be denied. What is currently going on in the Rift Valley has the, will definitely affect the results of the presidential elections in favor of the opposition. Yeah, currently, if the elections were held today. Okay, now, what has puzzled me has been the reaction of Jubilee towards that. It makes absolutely no sense. Okay, because if somebody raids your home, okay, you won't sit very relaxed in the sitting room watching a movie, will you? You will try to do something. You will take some sort of action. You will resist whatever is happening. But when you, now, and I'm not talking about fighting, and I'm not talking about dirty tricks, get me right, eh? I'm just talking about formulating a proper strategy to counter what is clearly happening on the ground. Okay, now that has really puzzled me, and I know NASA people will be quick to jump and say, oh, you know, there's nothing they can do, we have won. There's nothing like that. Okay, so that has puzzled me. However, I have a clue, and the clue comes from some information I received about 2 months ago. This information was so crazy. This information was so unbelievable. This information was totally, let me put it this way. Had I come out with this information then, I think some people would have made very big efforts to rush me to the nearest mental hospital. Okay? Now, my dilemma was that the information, the person I received the information from is a very reliable supplier of information to me. They have never given me information that is wrong. Never. In about 6-7 years that I've been relying on this person, they have never given me wrong information, not even once. I have a lot of other people give me information, and it's 50-50, 60%, 70%, you know, they give me information sometimes not correct for one reason or the other. But this person is a very cautious person, and they don't give me much information. But when they give me information, normally it is big, and normally it is never ever wrong. Okay, so I had a dilemma. The information is crazy, unbelievable. Even me, I can't believe it. Yeah, but the person supplying it is very reliable. So I had that dilemma. Now with this Al Ghurair controversy unfolding, the same person got in touch with me again and reminded me about the information they gave me, and then they told me, nilikuambia. You didn't believe, lakini nilikuambia. Mambo iko vile nilikuambia. And I just said, okay. And there's some other small telltale clues, 2, 3, 4 other things that have happened that seem to support this information. Now in a short while, I'm going to share this information with my Club 1999 members. Yeah, and please bear with me, because the reason why I'm going to do that is that this information is super sensitive, highly sensitive. I don't know how I can emphasize that. There's no way I can share it on YouTube. No way. No, absolutely no way. Okay, so you will bear with me on that. But this information has far-reaching effects. This information would suggest that we are headed towards the postponement of the August 8th elections. That's really what it means. Yeah, but the reason will just floor you. Okay, so what you need to do is become a member of Club 1999. It is very easy to become a member. Okay, we have a temporary membership. We no longer have the 1-month membership temporary. The minimum membership you can get now is 2 months. It's only $895, sorry, 895 shillings only. Become a member, get that information, which as I leave this recording, I'm going straight to Club 1999 to share. So make sure you catch that information. Okay, now for the rest of us, this Al Ghurair issue is very worrying, extremely worrying, because every day we seem to get a new development concerning it. Okay, now my issue, I don't want to dwell on whether what the opposition is saying is true or not, although I've already told you about this thing of them being involved in other African countries. I've told you the whole truth, and I've stuck to facts, not hearsay or rumors. Okay, and my personal view is that the whole blame falls on IEBC. They cannot accuse the government. They cannot say they have pressure from the government. That is an excuse that is totally unacceptable, because they're the people Kenyans are relying on. They're the referees Kenyans are relying on to carry out a fair match and to give us results that are acceptable on both sides. Now what the IEBC have been busy doing is trying to sell the public the idea that these elections are going to be free and fair. And while they're saying that, they're doing things which would suggest that this election will not be free and fair. Yeah, so that can't work. You can't speak one thing and then you're doing the exact opposite. Yeah, it doesn't work. Yeah, especially in something as public as, you know, of public interest like this, the August 8th elections. So they're totally to blame. And it is very important that the IEBC remembers that they hold the fate of this country. They even hold the lives of Kenyans in their hands. Yeah, to ensure that we have a free and fair election which cannot be contested anywhere. Okay, but the way they've been behaving so far leaves a lot to be desired. Yeah, so my appeal to them, even at this late hour, is to get their act together. Yeah, and do something, stand out and be counted, so that history may look back at you and say, yes, we had such and such a people in the IEBC. They did this. They averted disaster. They stood for Kenya. They stood for Kenyans. They did the right thing. Yeah. This is Chris Kumekucha. Until next time. Oh, sorry, I forgot to remind you. Yeah, please make sure you catch that report. This is a crazy information. Yeah, catch that report in Club 1999. It's very easy to become a member. Just check in the description area of this video on YouTube. You should get all the information you need to become a member immediately. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for your continued support. All the best. Let's keep on praying for our country. This is Chris Kumekucha signing off.